So what is the secret to social confidence? One thing I've discovered through treating people with social anxiety over the years is that sufferers always think it's only them. Well, that's definitely not true. We did a major survey where we asked over 43,000 people on one of our courses what their biggest confidence issue is, and more than a third said their biggest fears involve socializing and other people. So fear of social situations is really widespread, but knowing that doesn't help if you're the one suffering from it. I'm Mark Tyrrell, the co-founder of Uncommon Knowledge and Hypnosis Downloads, and for the last 20 years I've been a therapist and psychology trainer. My own crippling social anxiety when I was younger, and my experience of helping socially anxious people throughout the years has made this problem really important to me. I know how awful it is and how it stops you getting what you really need in life: friends and social contact. Brain scans of lonely people have shown that loneliness causes activity in the same parts of the brain that register physical pain, which won't come as a surprise if you've ever felt lonely. We even call people painfully shy, and perhaps that's more accurate than we ever knew. This is why prolonged social anxiety can cause people to become depressed. It's a horrible catch-22 situation. You need something, human contact, but another part of you blocks you from meeting that need, which can lead to loneliness and a life that's unhappier than it needs to be. But I want to make a promise here. No matter how bad it is for you right now, it can be much, much better, no matter what you've tried before. Through my experience that I've had myself with social anxiety and through working with clients, I understand what's happening in socially anxious people's brains, and more importantly, I know how people with social anxiety can get rid of it. And I know people can go from extreme social anxiety to above average social confidence because I've helped hundreds of former social phobes do just that. So if social anxiety or chronic shyness is spoiling your life, then I want you to know that you're not stuck with it. It can change. Over the years, I've come to realize that there's one essential thing that socially anxious people do, which socially confident people don't. They focus inside. And what I mean by that is when you're socially anxious, you worry about yourself. You think about what you're going to say, you obsess over how you're coming across, how you look, and on it goes. And you can probably relate to that. And this has been backed up by research. One study showed that socially anxious people remembered much less of things around them in social encounters than relaxed socializers did. Why? Because their focus of attention was on themselves and how they felt instead of on the things around them. The reason this is such a major insight and why it can help you so much is that socially confident people don't do this. They focus on the people and things around them and keep themselves out of the picture. But knowing this isn't enough, because if it was, you'd have been doing it already. The trouble is that anxiety keeps you locked in your own head with your focus on yourself. So this is why it's so essential to get rid of the anxiety first, then practice being more relaxed in social situations. And through my more than 20 years as a therapist, of all the techniques I've tried, there's one that gets rid of the anxiety faster and more permanently than all the rest, and that's hypnosis. But although the way to get rid of social anxiety is to deal with the anxiety first, there is one trick you can try if you just have to attend a social event before you have a chance to try our program. The next time you're with lots of new people and your heart is hammering and you're locked in your head panicking about how you're going to come across, force yourself to focus outwards and notice things around you. Anything really, like a picture on the wall or the colour of the wallpaper, what nibbles are being offered and that kind of thing. You can even have a small conversation with yourself, not out loud of course, but just like, oh, those look nice, I think I'll try one, and whoa, that's a bold pattern, or I wouldn't have chosen that picture, and that kind of thing. And it sounds simple, but please just give it a try. It will give you a taste of how it feels to be outwardly focused. When I see people go from being socially phobic to socially confident, it's like something has been unlocked within them, and it's a beautiful thing to see, so please give it a try. And if there's one thing you remember about this video, make sure it's this: that nobody is looking at you as critically as you are. You are the only one obsessing about the way that you look and how and what you say. And remember, the most powerful way to change an emotional response is through the power of the mind. and the calm, peace and confidence you can achieve using hypnosis makes becoming more socially confident natural and easy. And then, going for coffee with a new friend is fun, not daunting. Dinner parties feel like an adventure instead of an ordeal. New relationships grow and friendships you already have become deeper. So I encourage you to give yourself the chance to experience a transformation like this. And if you get the program now, you'll be able to get started right away so that your next social occasion feels so different. And to encourage you to give it a try, we're giving 25% off the program for a short time. Just click on the button under the video to read more. Please let me know what you thought of this introductory video in the comments section. And if you've got any questions at all about social anxiety, feel free to ask.